Stolen valor claims have been in the news lately as questions regarding Democratic vice presidential candidate and governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and his service are being discussed from his by the national media. Locally, now the same scrutiny is being applied to Maryland Governor Wes Moore's integrity after a 2006 application for a White House fellowship program was uncovered by the New York Times, and in which Moore claimed he had been awarded the Bronze Star Medal. Cary, while Governor Moore claimed that this regarding the Bronze Star and another false claim about receiving the Maryland College Hall of Fame award, he says they were innocent mistakes. Will this tarnish his glowing reputation as governor going forward?
This is a nothing burger. Look, with all due respect, veterans, I mean, it's incredible that we revere our veterans. There's no question about that. And you have to revere Wes Moore's service to our country. But this was just an incident that just fell through the cracks. The man, it's a nothing burger. You know, he wished he could have corrected it earlier. What's going to count is his last 2 years in public office and whether he can increase the jobs in this state. That's what's going to make the difference, in my opinion.
Mark, for those who are skeptical, it would seem doubtful that Governor Moore would not have known that he didn't receive the Bronze Star, since military medals and ribbons are part of the identity of each soldier. And each time he put on his dress uniform and those ribbons, they would have to have been displayed. What do you think will happen to this story?
Well, I'd point out, let me push back a little again with Cary on this. Irrespective of party, faults, these stolen valor claims come back to white politicians. I was in New York a number of decades ago when campaign against Patrick Moynihan came to a grinding halt when Tim Russert was able to unearth the fact that his opponent, Republican, was claiming to have been an officer when he actually was a civilian at the Pentagon working in the Secretary of Defense. I could go on and on and on and say that these false claims issues are a perennial issue. Among veterans, the distinction between, combat service, not combat service, what medals you got, what medals you didn't get, how you frankly got the medals as well, matters very, very deeply. And word to the wise to political staffs everywhere, go look at your boss's bio and clean it up, because if you make this mistake, people will draw the conclusion that the person making false claims is simply not trustworthy.
But you can't use that with Wes. I mean, he's literally been above board, been trustworthy.
It's not a question of, quote, using it. I'm saying that the public, the irrespective of party, and this, we've seen this happen in multiple campaigns. It really hurts. It makes a difference, and you put a partisan filter on it and say, well, in this case, other things matter. This is a mistake that, frankly, people should not be making on their bios. They should be very, very careful about.
I agree.
Well, there was an interesting editorial in the Baltimore Sun that said just as much as the summation that the two of you had. So we'll see whether Governor Moore will be hurt by this going forward in the future. He seems to have a very bright political career.